Today, Sea of Thieves is a much different game than what it used to be back in 2018. And the other day, I gotta tell you, I was a little bit nostalgic, so I've decided to make a video talking about what Sea of Thieves was like in 2018. For those of you that did play back then, this could be a nice nostalgia trip. And for those who didn't play until, say, 2019 or whatever, hopefully you guys learn a bit of what Sea of Thieves was like when it released. So back in the day, there was only 3 factions. They were the Gold Hoarders, the Order of Souls, and the Merchant Alliance. Back then, the mission system was very different too. There was only one type of mission you could do for the factions. For the Order of Souls, you were literally just going out there and finding skeleton captains. For the Gold Hoarders, you'd either have to get some riddles or some chest digs. And for the Merchant Alliance, you could only do the animal-based missions. There were also only 2 boats. It was the galleon and the sloop. There was no brigantine. That wasn't even thought of until way later in the year. And on those boats, there was absolutely no thought of any type of harpoon, so you had to get all of your loot by hand, carting that back to the boat. And of course, world events. Don't even get me started. The only world event you could do back in the day was a fort, and they'd show up every 45 minutes or so everyone on the server would go fight for that fort. However, over the year, a lot of things came out. So I've even got dates and everything. Like, I've fully done research into this to reminisce and just indulge my nostalgia. So back in 2018, on the 29th of May, the first official Sea of Thieves content update dropped, and that was the Hungering Deep event, which introduced the original blue and white Megalodon. No others, just the original one. As well as that, Merrick was first released into the Sea of Thieves world and officially released. He was the person you'd go to start the Megalodon quest, and of course, that was a really cool event that required you to meet other people and do like literally a whole story, like a mini Tall Tale before Tall Tales were even a thing. This also marked the introduction of the drum, the speaking trumpet, and flags that you can put on top of your boat. After that, the Megalodon became a random encounter in the world, leading to what we know today. After that, moving forward on June 13th, the Skeleton Thrones and the Bilge Rat faction was released. Way back in the day when Duke was leading it. There was no Lorena, it was just literally Duke. This also released doubloons into the Sea of Thieves world, so you can sort of trace that back to the real early days too. Moving forward to the 28th of June, skeleton kegs were introduced to the world, and around this time, the Eye of Reach skeletons were removed everywhere aside from skeleton ships. Moving on the 31st of July, we officially had the introduction of skeleton ships with the Cursed Sails event. This also introduced Cursed Cannonballs and Alliances. Thinking back, that was probably the biggest update of 2018 and 2019, just from the fact that it was so major and it was crazy to have random skeletons come up and just ruin your world. It was such a really impressive update and just a great new game changer to the world. But that wasn't the final big update of 2018. That came on the 27th of September with the official release of the Forsaken Shores, which introduced the Devil's Roar into the world. Can you believe that? There was a time in Sea of Thieves history where there was absolutely no Devil's Roar. With the release of the Devil's Roar also brought out the release of the rowboat. Another thing I forgot to mention too, there was also the release of the Brigantine later in the year. I can't remember what update it was specifically. I believe it was possibly the Cursed Sails update. Someone in chat, please correct me if I'm wrong though. As well as all those massive updates, there was a few minute things that were around the world. Like, for example, there was no Shores of Gold. There was absolutely no Maiden Voyage. The Reaper's hideout didn't exist. It was just a unmarked island in the middle of nowhere with no real purpose. And of course, the Hunter's Cool weren't a thing either. Merrick would just sit at Sharkbait Cove where you'd originally find him for that Hungering Deep event. But yeah, Sea of Thieves is a much different world back in 2018, and it's just a bit of nostalgia trip. I don't know. I wanted to make this video. I really enjoyed the origins of Sea of Thieves, and it was something that's really close to my heart. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, let me know. Of course, I can go through all the years. Since we're coming up to 2023, there'd be a lot of content there, and I could make a few videos turning it into like a really cool series. Tell me, though, what is your guys' favorite year on Sea of Thieves? Like, when did you think the most influential and important updates came out? Let me know down in the comments. The best answer may possibly get an Obsidian 6-pack if you leave your gamer tag down below. With that being said, have a good day, night, evening, afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are around the world. Stay safe, stay cool, stay groovy, and I'm going to catch you all in the next one. Goodbye for now.